theoretically simpler. Okay. Set this. Okay, so here we go. Welcome.
Recording.
We're recording, I believe. Yes, we're recording.
It's over here, but I'll be here.
Okay, welcome to Meditations, everybody. And we are going to do a little bit of movement first. Just a few minutes to get our blood moving. I always like to get up and awake before I sit down and meditate, because sometimes you can fall asleep that way. So, what's going on?
Oh, I'm just muting everybody, but you're good.
Okay, cool. All right, so everybody, let's just walk in place. And let's go a little faster. Pick the knees up. Just getting the blood moving a little bit. Try to get where my head isn't cut off. This is it's tricky.
You're taller than I am.
Yeah, Amber's makes this look easier. And let's do some arm circles. Backwards and forwards. Shoulder circles backwards. And forwards. Good, let's shake out the arms. And today we're going to move with a little bit of a different intention, and I'm going to show you some Tai Chi arms. I don't know if anybody's ever done Tai Chi, but it looks like this. You start out, you can be any orientation you want. I'm just being sideways so you can see. You raise your arms up like this, and you let the water drip right off your fingers, just like that. You raise them, and then you push forward. And then you come back in, and you drop down. And it helps if you bend your knees a little bit. Raise. Inhale as you raise, exhale as you push. Inhale. And down. Looking good, everybody. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe your hands start to warm up as you do this. Inhale. And down. A couple more times. Relax your back. Relax your neck as you do this. Very good. Now let's keep that attention as we go back to a walking in place. See if you can keep that presence, that awareness, that aliveness as you walk. Lifting the knees up a bit. Exercise can also be a meditation. Arm circles back. Good, arm circles forward. Really finding the full range of your arms. Should be a stretch as well. Shoulders back. Rolling the shoulders forward. Finding the full range of motion, keeping that sense of presence you had in our Tai Chi exercise. Good, and now we're just going to bounce your knees. If you want to increase the intensity and get a little bit more, go ahead and Raise up and down as you go, or you could just keep bouncing here. While listening to your breath, enjoying. And take your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and we're just going to twist to the right and to the left. Try to keep your, don't twist at the hips, try to twist at the torso. Medium speed, let's slow it down even slower than medium. So we go back to that Tai Chi intention, aware of every part of the movement. Going to your full range. Okay, good. So we're going to transition to our meditation component now. Find yourself a chair or a comfortable spot on the floor. And yesterday I talked a little bit about the analogy of the factory and the ecosystem. Your body picks up stress from any number of sources. And we use these meditation practices to clean up that stress. And during the weekdays, that's what we're doing. We're going out and with our tools, we're cleaning up any oil that spilled, all that stuff. And then on Saturdays, we're going to look, where is all this stuff coming from? We're going to ask questions of what is the source of stress? It's that, I used the analogy yesterday of a factory on the hill that's producing all this stuff that's coming down the stream. So, what is that factory? The factory is the ego. For just to make it real simple today, the factory is the ego. And the ego is any number of stories that you tell about yourself and the world. It also is a sense of agitation. If anyone feels in their life like they have just a little bit of agitation all the time, that's not unusual. And that's what we're going to call the ego today. So we're going to work on being aware of the ego and what else is possible today. So let's go ahead and close our eyes, find a comfortable position, nice and upright, relax head and shoulders. So what else are we besides ego? What else are we besides the stories we tell? Well, for one thing, we're the feelings of our hands on our knees or wherever they are. Whatever your hands are touching, that's also you. Go to the direct sensation of that touch right now. Try not to go to the imagination of your hands touch, like the mental image. Try to go to the direct experience of your hands touching each other or your knees or the floor or your dog or your kid. Focus on that sensation. Now let's take another sensation. Let's take the sounds that are happening in the room. For me, I can hear a lot of birds. The birds are very excited today. I can hear the boys upstairs. Whatever's going on in your house, in your room, focus on the sounds. Perhaps the stories are coming back. Stories about the past and future. Worries that you may not be doing it correctly. Let's watch those and let's just label that as ego activity for today. When that comes up, that's the factory. Go back to the sensation of sound. Your breathing should be easy, relaxed. Let's go to breathing now, to the sensation of breathing. Your chest expanding and contracting. As you exhale, exhaling any excess tension. Becoming very attuned to the smallest movements necessary to keep breathing, to keep your body upright. Go to the sensation of your tongue in your mouth. Can you taste anything here? Relaxed jaw. Relaxed facial muscles. Again, if stories come back up, words come into your mind, a subtle sense of agitation underneath those words, just label that as ego activity. You don't have to try to eliminate it or be violent with it. You can just go back to your sensation and say, okay, I'm not interested in that right now. What I'm actually interested in is what my feet feel like touching the floor. You are the sensation of your feet on the floor, as well as your ego activity. You are the sound of the bird. Now let yourself roam widely within your sensation. It could be anything. Don't feel like you even have to label. This is sight, this is sound, this is touch. Just tune in very broadly to any sensations that arise. The most basic of sensations can be very pleasant, very peaceful. As you go, you may notice that little voice inside you, that little ego saying, hey, but what about me? Don't forget about me. And that little ego has defenses. Defenses like sleepiness or a lack of focus. And maybe even agitation or a slight sense of anger. The ego doesn't like to be looked at. But just underneath the ego is the world of sensation. And that's where we're looking today. Broad sensation, letting the hearing, the breath, the body, all come into the field of consciousness. You can take refuge in the sensation, take a little break from the ego. If your body starts to get stiff, feel free to move around a little bit. This isn't the kind of meditation where you have to stay stone still like a statue. And now today, because we have a luxurious amount of time, we get to go even one step further and examine the third level. So we touched on ego, we touched on sensation. Now there's something even underneath sensation And we'll call that presence. So the way you can find this is go to a sensation. Let's take our hands again on our knees or on your chair, wherever they are. Go to the direct sensation of your hand, the sense of touch. Go to that tingling, the feeling of pressure on the hands. The palms of the hands are a good place for this. They're so sensitive. Go to that sensation. And then find the edges of the sensation. Try to find the exact point where the sensation begins and ends. And just at that edge is this subtler level that we're calling presence. You can also try this with the breath. So go to the sensation of the breath. And just at the moment when the exhale finishes, and just before the inhale starts, that's where you can find presence. Just the basic sense of being here. Existing, being alive. All sensation comes out of this sense of presence and returns to this sense of presence. If you start to get dizzy, open your eyes. It's easier to do this sort of thing with your eyes closed, but it's fine to try with your eyes open as well. I'm going to give you some time on your own to explore the sense of presence. And if you get stuck, you feel confused, go back to a sensation and explore around the edges of the sensation. And if you go back up into ego thoughts, what are my neighbors thinking? What are my kids doing? Whatever else is going on there, that's fine. Acknowledge those as well. And then bring yourself back to a sensation, and from the sensation back to presence. Try that on your own. And go. And that's just about our time for today. So if you were very deep in presence, come back up through into sensation. Feeling your breath, your hands, returning more to sort of an everyday awakeness. Go ahead and open your eyes. Let's take a few breaths together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and inhale. Exhale. Long, slow, smooth. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you had have a very good Saturday. And maybe that sets you up for some nice relaxation this weekend. Okay, so we don't have time to chat today because we have to switch over to Amber's Talk Fitness with Amber. So we're going to turn it off now, but we'll see you guys on Monday, or hang around and find the new link. Maybe we should post it here.
Yeah, what if we post it here?
We should post the link here, so anybody who wants to join us there. Bye, Kathy.